Season 2 is not going particularly well at the start of it here. After our opening night competitive loss against the Timberwolves, we would actually win our next two games against the Jazz and the Heat on back-to-back games. Since then, though, a 9-game losing streak for our Vancouver Blizzard. 6 of those 9 games were blowouts by at least 20 points, and in 6 of those 9 games, we failed to reach 100 points in them. Something is not going right here in Vancouver in Season 2. I know we're still a fresh expansion team, but I was hoping to do just a little bit better than this. We're hoping to avoid a double-digit losing streak going against our expansion rivals, and I have made one change ahead of this game. We're changing up the playbook. We've been using Pacers so far this year. I feel like a good use case for Saramago will be something similar to how Paolo Banchero is used in Orlando. So I'm going to try out the Magic playbook here for this stretch because something was not working with that Indiana playbook. If that doesn't work, I am thinking since we are a 7 seconds or less system, we could try out that Suns playbook because they're the most famous 7 seconds or less team. But I want to give out the Magic a try just because I do think it will be good for Ayrton Saramago. We'll see if that's the case. Going against our expansion rivals here, about 12 games here into the season. So we tried to avoid the double-digit losing streak here in front of the hometown fans. We're rocking the alternate jerseys today against our expansion rivals. A lot of empty seats here as this game begins. Hard to blame them with the team on a losing streak like this. Let's get back in the win column here against the Sonics, shall we? Middleton starts the game off with a miss. Coming off the screen. Plays like this, a pick and roll with Mago here is exactly the kind of play style I'm hoping to gain from this Magic playbook, and he makes a nice looking layup to start this game. Has another chance here, but the bank shot comes up short. 1 for 2 early for Mago, and he draws the charge on the other end after the miss. Nice heady defensive play there. He gets another shot here. Lots of Ayrton Saramago to start this game, and you won't hear me complaining about that. He has 5 early ones. Here he's trying to defend Pascal Siakam, and a nice contest forces the miss. Bradley Beal cutting inside, gets it through a couple of Blizzard defenders. Josh Green catch and shoot from the wing is off the mark. Starts his day with a miss from 3. Siakam able to isolate and just sneak on by Saramago there. Acrobatic finish from Lonzo is off. Could not finish the reverse. Seattle going quick the other way, but Siakam with another miss. Liking how we're defending him early. Josh Green, another wide open 3. That miss will make him 0 for 2. Bradley Beal left all by his lonesome in the corner. That's a 7-0 Sonics run here. This offense has not found a bucket here in a few minutes since we kind of stopped going to Ayrton Saramago. A tough finish there by McKnight. He doesn't quite have the handle to blow by somebody, but I have been impressed with his tough shot making there. That even though he can't drive by the defenders, he can make some tough shots in their faces. Ayrton Saramago continues his strong first quarter defense of Pascal Siakam here. And on the other end, posterizes Siakam on the pick and roll right on top of him. Ayrton Saramago, an excellent start to this game. 9-7 here as we approach 5 minutes into this game, and Chris Middleton makes a tough shot there. Turn around for Siakam, and it's another missed force. Ayrton Saramago not giving this guy any room. Jalen Duren, another 3-point attempt by him. I do not know what's going on with this man. Why are you taking all these 3-point shots? Gets that one blocked. It's so predictable now that people are actually defending it. That's not a good sign. Cameron McKnight off the catch. Pure jump shot there for green light McKnight. Siakam. Stolen by Josh Green. Great help defense there in transition. McKnight. Another tough layup is off glass and good. It's been all rookies so far for the Blizzard. McKnight and Saramago carrying the offensive load as they have a 2-point lead here. 7 minutes into this ball game. Josh Green missed his first couple shots, but decides to make the tougher one here in the mid-range. Assist will go to Saramago there, who blocks Pascal Siakam here. They continue to go to Pascal. And Saramago continues to shut him down. Muffs the layup on the other end, though. That was maybe his easiest look. He just couldn't hit it. Siakam now settling for the jump shot, and he hits it. The face of the rookie. Mago running the pick and roll. Layup is off. Just a little short on that attempt. Here he gets the steal as Seattle tried to force it into Siakam in the interior. Mago from deep drains the triple. It continues to be an absolute stud here in the first quarter. Middleton trying to answer from beyond the arc, and he does just that. Competitive 1-point ball game here. Siakam steps into a 3-pointer, but put a little too much on it. Vancouver running the other way. Feed it to Saramago inside. Gets the buckets and the foul. A tough, strong finish from the rookie, who was looking like the best player on the floor by a wide margin here in the first quarter. Unfortunately, would miss his free throw. Seattle going the other way. Pull up by Siakam, and a great defensive effort by Saramago in transition. Middleton trying to isolate on Saramago here. Gets the foul and the baskets. Not quite sure I agree with the foul there, but it is what it is. Isaiah Joe was really struggling last episode. Ended up not making a single field goal, so I'm glad he got on the board early here in the first. Nice post defense there from Vancouver. Shot clock winding down. Zeke Naji needs to find something. KJ Martin drills the 3-pointer. 29 first quarter points for Vancouver. And the quarter's not done yet. Some nice defense there in the post on Middleton. McKnight gets a clean look from beyond the arc. Drills it. And it's a dozen, the lead for Vancouver here. Final seconds of the first quarter. McKnight got another chance. Clean look, but could not make it. So it's Chris Middleton with 5 seconds left in the quarter. Swings it to Smith. 3-pointer is off the mark. It'll be a 10-point Vancouver lead after one. Really liked what I saw from the offense, and especially, of course, from the Brazilian Beast as well as Cameron McKnight. Those two rookies played extremely well. Seattle gets things going with an offensive rebound into a corner three. Tough look from McKnight. Maybe trying to do a little bit too much there, and Seattle unable to add another three here early. Running a play for McKnight. He's got a clear lane to the basket and throws it down with two hands. The rookies continue to be the focal point of the offense for Vancouver. I gotta say, I really liked what I saw from the Magic playbook. I felt like a lot less of our plays were coming down to the final seconds, just kind of waiting for the screen and shooting off of it. Thought we were attacking earlier in the shot clock. And no matter what happens as this game goes along, I do think my first impressions of this Magic playbook were good. The vet Middleton able to get McKnight off his feet there for the basket. 38-27 here, a few minutes into the second. Middleton on the drive, and he's had himself a pretty good game here. They've had to turn from Siakam to Middleton here, and it has worked for them so far. Isaiah Joe sets up for a 3-pointer, top of the key, no good, and Duran fighting for the rebound gives us another chance. It'll be Christie top of the key this time, but another one off the mark leads to a transition. for Seattle. Siakam misses again. Defense continues to be very impressive on him. One thing you'll notice is that this game, we did not follow the rotation that I said. 2K did update between episodes, so I'm thinking that's probably got to be the reason why I have 0 minutes. Nice pick and roll there to Duran. But I have 0 minutes where we have neither of our rookies on the court in our rotation. Is that as you can see here, we have neither of our rookies on the court right now, and it's really, I think, started to show in the struggle of our offense as Seattle's battled back into this game, but Isaiah Joe got that top of the arc three-pointer to go kind of get over our drought here. Saramago checks back in and gets a nice easy layup on the interior. Siakam, his best play of the night, fights through a Jalen Duren foul for the N1. Josh Green has gotten plenty of good looks from beyond the arc. He has not been able to make the most of them. Bradley Beal in transition draws the foul. Need more from Josh Green. We're giving him easy shots. We don't ask much from him offensively, but he's got to hit those ones better than he has been doing tonight. Lonzo Ball, a nice and one finish inside. Bradley Beal having himself a pretty good game for Seattle as well. It's been mostly Middleton and Bradley Beal. As you can see, JaVale McGee, who's not supposed to be playing at all, checks into the game here. They're definitely not using my rotation here. Something that I'll have to fix going forward. Mago, easy look, top of the key. Has a couple three-pointers today, but that one will not fall. A little too much mustard on it. Bradley Beal ties this game up at 49 apiece. The lead was double digits, but the lead is no longer. Shot clock winding down. Lonzo forced to take a tough mid-range shot, and it rattles home, putting Vancouver past the 50-point mark here. JaVale McGee, solid defense on Drummond. Mago takes the double team, finds the open man. McKnight can't hit the three, though. A lot of nice, easy looks from beyond the arc that we're just missing here in the second. Those were falling in the first, and that's kind of why Seattle has come back in the game. The three-point shot's gone cold for us here in the second quarter. 53 all here, a minute left. Bradley Beal missed that one. Hasn't been doing that too much here in the second quarter. Saramago in transition, finds McGee inside for the slam. For an old man who's not supposed to be playing any minutes, nice job running the floor there. That off the dribble three will give Seattle the lead here. 31 seconds remain. Saramago just a little bit behind Josh Green on the pass. Up top for Capella. He slams it down. And Seattle extends their lead. Saramago thought about shooting it. Instead passes it off to Ball. Not much space on that three-point attempt. And Seattle will go into the halftime locker room with a three-point lead. Coming out of the second half, McKnight gets a three-pointer to fall. Gonna look at the stats here. Forgot to do that at halftime, but this is half plus one, McKnight 3. As you can see, the two rookies carrying the offensive load for this team by a wide margin. Nobody else doing much of our shooting. It's Middleton and Beal on the other end. Siakam 9 points, but on 11 shots. So we've done a good job defending him. I'd like to see McKnight shut down Bradley Beal here in the second half. He was really working well for Seattle in the second quarter specifically. McKnight, nice entry feed into the post. We'll get 2 free throws for Mago. Beal off the dribble in the mid-range. McKnight with a nice contest. Ball with it. Nice job moving the ball around for a solid three-point look, but Lonzo too strong with it. Capella offensive rebound and off the glass. Gives Seattle back the lead, 62-60 here. Knight coming off a screen. Lonzo decides to just take it himself from the corner. Drills it home for the long ball there. Middleton trying to answer, and he does. 65 all. These teams going back and forth here to start the third. McKnight left alone. You don't want to do that with Green, Light, McKnight. He stripes home another 3. Middleton off the dribble and off the mark. Josh Green in the corner now finds Ayrton Saramago from the mid-range, and he's been very dependable in that area. 22 points for Mago here tonight. That's a block by Lonzo on the inside. Unfortunately, Seattle with the rebound, but a couple of tips and the Blizzard are able to secure it. Unfortunately, though, Middleton gets himself another basket off the dribble. Capella gets doubled on the inside. Good defense there, but Capella snatches the board and puts it right back up and in. Lonzo, tough leaning 3-pointer. The shot clock was winding down to a close. Step back for Siakam is pulled a bit right. In transition, Lonzo found, almost stolen, but instead no one around him for the easy deuce. 7-point lead here. And the defense worried too much about that. Cutting Bradley Beal, left Powell all alone in the corner. McKnight turning and shooting, but off the mark. Step back, green light, McKnight, and it rattles home. Beautiful jumper from him. Shown the ability to pull out that step back jumper once or twice a game. Bradley Beal from the mid-range. Just a very smooth jump shot there. Saramago going against DFS in the post, and Dorian Finney-Smith gets the stop. Now it's Mago's turn to get a stop on Middleton, but some nice dribble moves tie this game at, once again, 78 apiece. Max Christie. Strong summer league from him, but haven't seen much from him in the games that we've watched to start the regular season. The mismatch in the post for Middleton gives Seattle back the lead. Off the Mago screen, Isaiah Joe fires one up from beyond the arc. 81-80 Blizzard. Bill trying to answer. No good on that, and Saramago with the rebounds. Isaiah Joe with it again. Brings it to Christie. Going downhill, shot clock at 1, and a tough left-handed finish from Max Christie. 5 seconds left here in the third. Bradley Beal trying to lower this lead, and with 2.6 seconds remaining, he will take the foul. Either way, though, Vancouver should have the lead going into the fourth quarter of this ball game. Nice recovery here in the third after some struggles in the second. Again, most of those struggles were when neither of our rookies were on the floor, which just shouldn't actually ever be the case. I'm going to have to reinstitute my lineup, I think. But with this game being 83 apiece, I want to give you guys a look. You know, I show you the end results of a lot of these plays. In this episode, I wanted to show you what this team performs like in the fourth quarter of a close game. No cut footage here for the final 11-27, or at least until it becomes non-competitive, if it does at some points. We're watching the rest of this one together. Ryan Rollins with the 3-point make here. Will be a loose ball foul, and Rollins has been super reliable for Seattle here in this game. And a very positive impact role player. Christie swings it to Joe. He's going to try from the mid-range, and no good from there. I think we could probably search for a better look there, but once again, neither of our rookies are on the court. This is where we really struggled last time it was on the court. Seattle went on a run, and just like that, it went from 81-83 to 88-83 in a hurry. Ryan Rollins, 5 of 6 from the field. Didn't know this guy was an offensive powerhouse, but apparently he is. At least in this game. Nothing new in this possession so far. Isaiah Joe forced to take a deep 3, and it's off the mark again. Not like in these possessions when neither of our rookies are on the court. Powell, open from 3. He hits it again, and it's a 10-0 Seattle run to start the fourth quarter, with both McKnights and Ayrton Saramago on the bench. Looked like Isaiah Joe was going to be open there, but ended up moving away. A pump fake and an alley-oop. What a beautiful play there. Max Christie to Jalen Duren. When both of our rookies are out, that's going to force Jalen Duren to be a high performer in this kind of lineup. And Seattle trying to match, with an alley-oop of their own, but they're not as good at executing it as we were on the other end. Let's see if we can draw up a good shot here with this lineup. We have two centers in. I mean, Isaiah Joe left all by his lonesome. Nice screen there. Let's open him up. Right back down to a 3-point Seattle lead. Got to get a stop here. Drummond with it. Handoff to Ryan Rollins. Isaiah Joe shuts down the drive. Shot clock winding down. Under 5 now. Drummond sets the screen. Rollins fires off of it. Finally, he misses. Drummond, 2 offensive rebounds. Gives Seattle another chance. This time, Siakam from the mid-range. No, they'll call it a 3. I thought he had a foot inside easily there, but refs thought otherwise. 3-pointer for Pascal Siakam. Christie on the wing. Feeds Isaiah Joe left alone again. Rattling out. There, it seems like our go-to move with this lineup is trying to get Isaiah Joe open from 3. I think that's a solid plan. Hasn't worked out excellently for us so far in the 4th. We have to get... We're 4 minutes into this 4th. We have to get our rookies out here. This is ridiculous. Both times we've had both of these players on the bench, Seattle has gone on a run. So we're making sure Mobley is not getting minutes, that's for sure. And I do think Christie, he's on fire a bit, and he's a bit of a shooter, so I think we'll rock with this after the timeouts for now. And then I'm going to call a timeout. Get this lineup on the courts. Final 8 minutes. We need Saramago and McKnight both playing for us. Normally for a regular season game, I wouldn't do this, but for some reason, again, I've said it, CPU decided not to follow my rotation that I set in this game. It's come back to bite us in a major way. Now we've got both of our best players on the court, though. Gotta find a good possession. Not like in this play out of the timeout, though. It just forced up another corner 3 contested long-range shot from Isaiah Joe. Nice transition defense, though, at least to force the miss. Saramago into Isaiah Joe. Duren sets the screen for McKnight, shooting off of it, and a good look, but rattling out. Once again, the 3-point shot just not falling, kind of like it did in the second. That's allowing Seattle to build up a lead. Siakam had a mismatch with Isaiah Joe, but picked up his dribble too early. Give it back to him, give him another try. 5 seconds on the shot clock. Doing a little bit too much dancing here. You got to get downhill on Isaiah Joe. That's a terrible possession by Pascal Siakam, who has just been off his game this entire night, although I do think a big portion of it goes to that man there, Saramago, who gets swatted out of his mind. Isaiah Joe once again taking a shot. This time it falls, though. One thing I praise this playbook for is that it seemed like we didn't need to wait till the end of the shot clock most of these plays, but that kind of seems like what we're needing to do here so far in the 4th. Kyle Anderson. Slow-mo. With a bucket there, makes it a 7-point Seattle lead. Can we come back from our horrible start here in the 4th with our terrible lineup? Isaiah Joe, another shot. He's been a high-volume shooter here in the 4th, and It's not like it's not working. I can't complain too much about it. 4-point game, need a D up here against Siakam. Mago, nice job on the defense, forcing the miss again and snagging the board. In transition, trying to force it into Duran. A turnover by McKnight. Pella almost took a coast to coast there. Said Seattle will set up a play here. Norman Powell. To Siakam, top of the key, defended by Ayrton Saramago. 4 seconds remain on the shot clock. Siakam forced to take a very tough three, and it's no good. You can make this a 2 or a 1 point game. Just got to be smart here. That's something. I don't know if I'd necessarily call that smart, but we will get a good shooter to the free throw line. I guess they're going to bring Cameron McKnight off the floor because Isaiah Joe is at the free throw line. I'd rather just not bring Lonzo Ball in yet. McKnight needs to be on the floor. Middleton has Isaiah Joe in the post. Help defense comes, and Rollins is simply the most automatic player in basketball. Seattle lead back up to 6. Isaiah Joe. He's been our go-to man here in the fourth. Kicks it to Lonzo, out to Josh Green. Hasn't had a great night, and that will continue here with the missed three. Capella swings it out to Beal. Trying to get something going for Chris Middleton. Instead, Bradley Beal with the finish and the foul. I've got to make sure McKnight is on the floor here, but I also got to take off Josh Green. He just has been terrible today. Let's bring Max Christie back in. Don't want to have this be a 10-game losing streak. If you could tell, I really want to win this game, but terrible rotation decisions. The start of the fourth really put us in a tough spot here. Down by 9 now. Saramago from 3. Too strong. Jalen Duran on the floor. You're kidding me. To make matters worse, we've got an injured player. And Seattle with another offensive rebound because they're playing 5-on-4 and somehow can't get an open shot. Another miss and another offensive rebound. And like on the 5th shot of the possession, they finally make a shot. Playing 5-on-4. But of course, the concern is with Jalen Duran. Under 4 minutes remain. Our hopes of a victory are pretty much sliding through our grasp. Our offense worked, and of course, Josh Green immediately comes back out on the floor, even though I just took him off. And Zeke Naji is on the floor, I guess, now. I don't know what's going on with this game. Oh, yeah, that's because Jalen Duran was injured. My bad. 10-point game. We need to pretty much be perfect here down the stretch if we want any chance. Seattle could be looking to get the dagger to seal the victory here, though. Siakam from 3. Hits it. 13-point game. 3.5 remain. Not looking good for Vancouver. And then we have a Zeke Naji top of the key 3, which actually works. Puts Vancouver up to 100, which is one of our problems. We couldn't score 100 points in a game. Glad we were able to surpass that here. Didn't get that in the last episode. Offense definitely overall has looked better. We've just looked terrible when we haven't had one of our studs on the floor. Nice transition play to find Saramago inside. Knight hit him right on the money. We do need to stop here, though. Middleton. 4-3. Hits it. Putting Seattle back on top by double digits. And that was pretty much the dagger for this ball game. McKnight would end up leading us with 32 points. Saramago with a 26, 10, and 6 game on our side. Just they didn't get the help that they needed. Not a great game by Alonso. Can usually count on better from him. Middleton and Beal just were too much for the defense. The losing streak would end after 12 games as we would defeat the Clippers 123 to 117. Cameron McKnight dropping 41. I believe that is his career high, and yes, it is. So, career high for Cameron McKnight ends the losing streak finally. 15 for 22 from the field. But right after we ended that losing streak, we've started another 5-game losing streak, putting us at 3-18 on the season. We're a much more interesting team here in year 2, but jury's still out. In fact, I'd say evidence is starting to mount that we aren't actually better. One thing I want to do is I quickly want to set up our untouchables. Obviously, we're not going to trade Saramago or McKnight. Other than that, I don't think we're unwilling to trade anybody. There's some guys that I don't plan on trading anytime soon. A guy like Jalen Duren. But these are the only 2 guys that I know for sure are going to be part of our long-term future. They're the only 2 guys that are consistently performing so far through the first 2 episodes here of the season. Let's go ahead and take a look at where those stats stand. And Cameron McKnight is actually leading us in scoring. He's taking a lot more shots per game, which I don't like. And a lot's a stretch. It's 2.5 more shots a game. I do want Saramago to be taking the most shots. I think the switch to the Magic playbook recently could help that. It's actually shooting 40% from 3, which is kind of insane on pretty high volume. Well, not what I was expecting from Saramago, but both rookies are looking good. Obviously, there's a big drop off after that. Jalen Duren's still productive for sure, 58% from the field. Josh Green, only 7 points per game, but he's doing it pretty efficiently. Alonso, only 37% from the field. He's somebody that just sims super poorly. When we actually watch the games, he's not terrible, but when we simulate, he just can't shoot at all. KJ Martin could be somebody that earns a little bit more of a role. 33% from 3 is not great, but 48 from the field is a lot better than most of his peers. These guys shouldn't be playing. I want to make sure that before this next episode, we have it back to the rotation that they should be sticking to. Something happened with this update. I'm sure it had to be the update that made it so that the game is no longer following my rotation. But at 3-18, it's already time to start looking towards the draft, and it won't be too much longer until I have a good enough idea of what this draft class is that I can start previewing some of its top prospects. I will say, just on first glance, looks like a pretty decent class. I would say it is better than last year's class, especially depth-wise. So I'm excited to show you along the way, as it looks like we're certainly headed towards another top selection. Look at this weird scheduling quirk. We're playing the Jazz 3 straight Fridays between December and January. But like I said, that's all I've got here for this episode. We'll be back soon with more Vancouver Blizzard Draft Only franchise, continuing on season 2. And I'll see you then. Bring the Blizzard.